Let me think about it. Have you ever been selling a property and your agent has said, we had a viewing and the buyer has said, let me think about it? Well, this happened on the weekend. I was talking to a friend of a friend. The property's on the market with a well-known estate agent, one of the main high street estate agents in Newport. And they had a viewing on Wednesday. So I was talking to them on Saturday morning, and I said, "Oh, how's it going?" And they said, "Yeah, it's all right. You know, we didn't have any viewings in December because the agent said it was quiet. This is our first viewing this year. Been on the market about 4 months, and they had the viewing on Wednesday, as I said. And I said to them, "Oh, how did the viewing go?" And they said, "Oh, yeah, it's all right, I think." And I said, "Well, what do you mean? Do you think? What has your agent said?" And they said, "Oh, I don't know. I haven't spoken to the agent." And she said to me, "Do you think I should give the agent a call?" She said, "I don't want to seem desperate." And I said, "Well, at the end of the day, he's working for you. It is a he." And so she did. So she called him. She went in the house, called him to come back. And she said, "Oh, I spoke to the agent. He said he spoke to him on Friday," which immediately brings my question is, why didn't he call you on Friday? But anyway, so she spoke to the agent spoke to the buyer on Friday, and the buyer said, "Let me think about it. I'm just having to think about it." And the agent said, "That's really good news that they're thinking about it." Well, here's the thing. When I was a sales and marketing director for a global property company, we used to have like clients fly in from the Middle East mainly, and we take them to central London. We go around central London. I show them several properties, and I had a rule. I used to train my guys, my team, my agents, that when someone says, "Let me think about it," that is not the end of the conversation. You never let someone walk away saying, "Let me think about it." And this is not being a pushy agent. This is being a good agent. And there is a fine line, I promise you. So a good agent and a pushy agent is after a decision there and then. A good agent is trying to work out what they actually mean by saying, "Let me think about it," and then help them to think about it. Because there's only 3 reasons why someone says, "Let me think about it." Number 1 is they like the agent. Now, that might sound mad, but if someone likes the agent, they are less likely to say, "Oh, I don't like your product. I don't like what you're selling. I think it was rubbish." And they will say, "Oh, let me have a think about it," because they don't want to say to the agent, "It was rubbish. I don't like it." Which, yeah, okay, your agent is good because they've made that connection with the person, but they're bad because they can't get that person to be honest and say, "I don't like it. What else you got?" So that's number 1. Number 2 is the buyer can't actually afford it. Now, yes, they may have their mortgage in principle, but that's a totally different thing to being able to afford it. Now, especially today, in the time that we're living, with the cost of everything is going through the roof, and people, they may have their mortgage in principle, and then they walk away and they redo their sums, and they're like, "Oh, actually, I don't think I can afford that." So a lot of people will go to view a property with the idea that they are going to make a lower offer, but when they walk into the property, within the first 30 seconds, did you know this? Within the first 30 seconds, someone makes a decision whether they're going to make an offer. Maybe not to buy it, but they're going to make an offer. They walk in, for 30 seconds, they want to make an offer, they see the rest of the property and they think, no, they're not going to accept the offer. Especially if the agent said they won't accept offers on this. That's number 2. And number 3, and this is the most important one. If someone says to you, or someone says to your agent, "I need to think about it," it's usually because they don't have enough information. Now, this is where your agent has messed up, but they don't have the skill set to draw that information out of the buyer. So I would always say to someone, look, there's only 3 reasons why. Number 1 is you actually don't like the property, but you're just a really nice person. You're way too polite to just say, "Steve, I don't like it." Number 2, you might not be able to actually afford what the repayments are. You might have one figure in your head and you've never seen the property and you thought, "They're not going to take an offer and maybe I can't actually afford the property." And number 3 is because I haven't done my job properly and I haven't given you enough information. What information do you need from me to help you think about it? You know, what we're trying to discover here is what they're thinking about. Are they comparing it against another property? Are they doing their sums financially? Or, this is the main one, are they gone away and are they thinking how much money it's going to cost them to do the things that they want to do to that property? These are all things that we can discuss, but we have to know what they're thinking. So when someone says, let me think about it, your agent should never ever report that to you with just, let me think about it. It should be, I've spoken to the client and they've said they want to think about it because they want to do an extension, they want to work out the cost of it, or because they think it needs a new roof, or because they need to do their own finances, or because they've seen another property and they're trying to put the two factors together and which is best for them. Which again, your agent should be helping them with that. And I'm not saying your agent should be pushing them to buy your property if it's not right for them, because if they do that, it's going to fall out of bed down the line anyway, and you're going to agree the sale, it's going to get to a point and the buyer's going to pull out. So when your agent says, let me think about it, that's what it really means, and they should be doing a different job.